Okay, his name is Lorne, L-O-R, and you're Kayla.
Day after day, alone on a hill. The man
Turns out today's his birthday.
keeping perfectly still. But nobody wants to know him. They can see that he's just
One of the longest chat logs we've ever seen. 407 pages.
the fool on the hill sees the sun go.
It's a massage chair.
God,
I think
look at
you press buttons.
Eyes in
Look,
his
oh my
head.
God.
See the world
I thought you had blonde hair.
spinning round.
Do you like it? I dyed it by
I
myself.
think it's pretty.
So what are you up to tonight?
Not a whole lot.
You talk about getting married to her. Getting married, she's 13.
Oh my God.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC. We're doing a story on it.
God.
Now you're free to walk out of this house right now.
Talking perfectly loud, but nobody ever hears him on the sounds he appears to make. And he
Sheriff's
never
officer,
seems
down!
to
Get
know
down!
it's but the fool on the hill sees the sun going down, and the eyes in his head see the world.
Well, my name's Based Shaman. I'm a YouTuber. I make videos. I used to focus specifically on Lorne Armstrong, but over time I've sort of expanded, and I make fun of a lot of different guys who got caught on the show called To Catch a Predator. I make all kinds of crazy videos about them, and yeah, that's basically what they know me for. That's what I do every day for fun. Dude, I started watching when I was in high school. I was about 16 or 17, and that's when my parents showed it to me. They're like, you gotta see this, look at this, and they showed me. They're like, look at these guys. They're like, don't ever be in this situation. And I was like, all right, I won't. And how did I get into Lorne? Well, you know, years later, I was watching it on YouTube, and next thing you know, I see this video with Lorne on it. And I remembered who he was from the show, but I never knew his name or anything. And then I really got into him, and I was like, this is fascinating. He's crying. He's his heart broken. And that's how I got into making the videos about Lorne. He's just a sad tale of a deranged guy.
Why don't we just do a little basic introduction on your end? Tell us who you are, what you do.
Okay,
and,
well, I'm Sam
ahead.
Pendleton. That's my that's the name we'll use, and I'm a writer from Texas, and I'm a TCAPist, which is just someone who's a member of this online community that we call TCAPism. So basically, we just analyze and discuss and parodize the erstwhile NBC show To Catch a Predator and related subject matter, and sort of explore the psychology and the sociology behind it.
How did you stumble across Lornography?
That was about around 2007, 2008 when I first found TCAP, and during that time, Lorne in particular stood out to me because in his segment on the show, you know, he talks about how he told the girl he thought he was chatting with that he loved her, and then he wanted to marry her, and then seeing his reaction to finding out it was a setup, I was intrigued because he had what was obviously a profound emotional reaction. I mean, it was obvious to me that he wasn't just upset about getting busted or getting embarrassed or whatever. What kind of psychological issues are going on there for him to convince himself that he's in love with someone he's never met, who's a child, who doesn't know anything about after 6 days? I mean, there are just layers of intrigue there, you know. So he was the one that stood out to me. That was when I actually started poking around on the internet for information about him, and that's when I found the Perverted Justice website and their entry on Lorne and discovered the chat log, and that was like a revelation, man. I mean, it was so full of delusion and desperation, and of course on one level it's disturbing to see him trying to groom a child, but he was just such a pathetic character, and there was just all these strata of unintentional comedy and delusion and desperation, and I was hooked on reading it. And that's when I discovered the video that was really the catalyst for Lornography, the one that's not on YouTube anymore. But it's just the clip of Lorne's segment along with a couple of local news reports and then a little bit of extended footage. But the comment section there was amazing. There were a bunch of people, other people who were just as fascinated as I was with Lorne. Those of us who were into it would discuss theories about who he was, and we would discuss the chat log down to the letter, and we would speculate on his life, and the comment section was amazing. That's where the community really was birthed, and one of the regulars came up with the idea that we were almost like a religion because we were so fascinated with this guy. And so that's where the concept of religion and a church came from. Hi, honey. If you're watching this, it's because you want to learn more about the Church of Cawd. What is the Church of Cawd? It's the official community of the religion of Lornography. Lornography is a new kind of religion for the 21st century that seeks to bring joy, hope, and perspective to people by reminding us all that no matter how challenging or difficult life can be, you can always take refuge in the fact that you're not Lorne Armstrong. Download the Holy Lornography, which is the entire internet conversation Lorne had with the little girl he was trying to rape. From there, listen to the sacred phone calls, more than 40 minutes of a dirty-ass old man trying to charm someone he thought was barely a teenager. After that, do a YouTube search for Lorne Armstrong and prepare to be dazzled by literally hundreds of great videos highlighting how sad this freak really is.
Wow.
After that, you'll be hooked, and you'll come to the sacred truth that we Lornographers already have. No matter how tough life can be sometimes, you can take comfort in the fact that you are not Lorne Armstrong. So on behalf of the Church of Cawd, welcome to Lornography. We like seeing you in person.
Bye, sweetheart.
Is Lornography, we'll say maybe was Lornography, a legitimate religion, or would you call it a cult?
At times, I've really thought about how much I wished it was a real religion, because then I could actually associate, with a religion, because I love it. I love the shit. And at times I've really wished it could be a real religion, but I would say in the state that it is, and the state that it's always been, it's been more of a cult, but a cult that's based on mockery. A cult fan following of Lorne Armstrong, where everyone just likes to mock him. I guess it's just depending on to the individual. It can be whatever they prefer it to be. I'm sure it could be either. There's no one answer for everyone. At times I have felt like it was a religion, so I hope it's a religion. I guess that's the answer. I hope it is. I wish it was.
How do you define a religion?
Okay, a religion is a group of set of beliefs, rituals, all directed toward worship of God, of a sort of God.
What is a cult?
Okay, a cult is when it's an interesting reality. A cult is when people get involved, often worshiping a person or idea, and it pulls them from their family, their lifestyle. They eat, breathe, and drink of this belief system. It's very controlling. It's they lose their freedom. Religion, you have freedom. Cults.
My name is High Priestess Ember Inferno, and I go by Ember on YouTube and Facebook. I am a content creator for the community, actually. In real life, I do social services work, and I have for a long time. Before this, I worked with survivors of child sexual abuse. The To Catch a Predator shows came on when I was a young adult, and I recall watching them and being very interested in just the confrontations and the looks on their faces. I seeing them reduced to what they were on TV was satisfying for me, and I didn't really get back into it until I was studying in grad school. I'd keep it on in the background. And then as I graduated and I got a job, I was an investigator for an attorney for a while, and she represented children who were in the system because of their child abuse cases. So they were in foster care, or they had attorneys because of some family court case. And before that, I was a therapist for children who were abused. I worked in a foster family agency. I saw a lot of little survivors of these people, and When I searched for a Lorne Armstrong video, I saw that NBC had removed the one that I had been watching and reading all of the comments to, but I found Bass Shaman's videos. And that's how I became aware of the community. I would call it a community, but if it's to be likened to a religion, it has a few things in common with a few religions. Now, in my opinion, I am non-religious, and I believe that many of the fundamental religious beliefs held by people in the world obscure facts and blow up emotions and try to get emotional reactions to control with, while depriving people of knowledge. And then there are other religions who are very much into educating their people who follow their religions and making sure that they have information to improve their lives while not hurting others. That's something that I think, if we have to say Lornography is a cult or a religion. It was supposed to be a big joke about Lorne Armstrong being worshipped by the people who were defending him in the comments of the main video. But I like to think of it as, if we make fun of something and something's funny and people start paying attention, you can slip in some information and increase awareness. So just like with To Catch a Predator, in my opinion, it was investigative journalism at the beginning, and it turned from something that was informational and kind of entertaining as a result to an entertainment show that maybe gave you some information accidentally, pushed in there. And I think that that's what we're doing here with Lornography. The content creators are making fun of these assholes and at the same time bringing awareness to a subject that is not easy to talk about. It gets people's feathers ruffled because we all have experiences with survivors or our own personal experiences. Some people haven't worked them out, and you will see that in the angry comments. And I think that it's not really a religion. I think that it's hilarious that we liken Lorne Armstrong to Christ, who is sacrificed for our sins. Now, to a cult, it's interesting that you say that. I don't think we're trying to change anybody's minds. I think we're just trying to take the generally held belief that pedophiles are scum, or what they do is very harmful, at least if you don't like to characterize people, that their behaviors are terrible. And we understand that while it's disgusting and horrible, To Catch a Predator, the way it was featured, gave us some really funny moments. And sometimes humor, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
Explain the role of an online fan community and what it plays today in shaping what we see in media.
Not all online fan communities are the same. Some fan communities are very small and very intense. For example, you have a high degree of depth in them amongst a small number of highly motivated participants. People are doing Freedom of Information Act requests to get documents. They're doing their own research. They're looking through public databases. They're knocking on people's doors, looking at unsolved mysteries or murders or other crimes. And they feel very invested in those, working together. I find this kind of fandom somewhat troubling. He sounds like a terrible person, but we don't really know anything about him. Is he mentally ill? Does he need help? Or, I'm clear that he needs some sort of help. But is he getting the help that he needs? I think it's very easy to demonize someone that we don't approach with empathy. But he sounds like a terrible person, right? I mean, he very well could have hurt people and, sexually abused people or children. I mean, which is horrific. And, there needs to be some sort of social penalty for that.
Must be the season of the wind.
Get your ass on the ground now.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
No, they're my keys.
Let go of the keys!
All right.
Stop resisting. I'm not resisting.
As far as celebrating this, I'm not sure if that does more harm than it does good. I think that, in a sense, that almost turns him into a celebrity. It almost makes him into a celebrity. Even in demonizing him, he becomes a household name. And, you know, in the social media era, the Web 2.0 era, where, you know, we celebrate fame and everybody is a media producer, I think it can be really dangerous to even bring attention to people such as this person who, again, is a terrible person in the things that he's done, but does bringing more attention to that in these sort of videos actually, like, give him a platform where he can be hated. I mean, it's almost a new trope that you look at of, like, the people who are hated in the internet become famous just by being the trolls that they are. You can be famous for being loved, and you can be famous for being hated. And if you have nothing else, I can understand why people would be like, well, I'm all over the internet. Look at all the hits I got. You know, we live in a culture that celebrates hits.
Hey, this is Joey Jeremiah. You'll find me on the Temple of TCAP forum. You'll find me on YouTube at Joey Jeremiah, or Joey's TCAP channel now.
Do you believe that there is some sort of social justice aspect to Lornography and TCAPism?
It's definitely.
Yeah. Go on. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people in the community had issues with child molestation, and really take this as a cathartic thing, where they can, you know, view these guys as maybe the person that molested them, and get some kind of level of closure and satisfaction by, you know, seeing these guys humiliated. You know, or you know, many of these guys, Warren especially, were con men and criminals, and you know, they can take it out on these people. Maybe they were con, and you know, can laugh at Lorne because the guy that ripped them off is over in Nigeria or something like that, and untouchable. So yeah, there's a lot of aggression that can get out by teasing these guys as a substitute for the person that did that to them.
To you, are the predators featured in the show people first? Are they characters? Maybe cautionary tales? Or do you see them as something else?
I don't think they're cautionary tales for the most part. There's no reason. There's no reason to visit a kid on the internet. You know, for these guys to tell those stories, it's like that would never happen. Like, you would never accidentally go to see the kid. Maybe you'd accidentally talk to somebody real quick. Like Lubrano. I think Lubrano hit on the decoy and said, hey, do you want to fuck or something? And she's like, oh, yeah, I do. By the way, I'm 13. That maybe was an accident. And if that's all that happened, then you're like, okay, I can forgive that. But then for him to talk further and then go out to her house and bring drugs, you know, I don't have sympathy. But yes, they are people. And what's weird is that a lot of these guys were normal. Like, you might know, like, a Rutherford in real life, or, you know, other people, Dr. Wallen maybe, Walter Babst, that come across as normal people. And if you knew them, you know, you might be friendly with them. You know, some friends that you might have, some friends that I might have, might be the kind of people that would be on that show. You just don't know. So you really don't know on a lot of these people. So they are people, and they are definitely characters. All of them are characters. I don't see them as cautionary tales, though.
What does religion offer to individuals seeking help in times of need?
What do they offer? I think first of all, there's God. I think God grants great comfort, but also when people, you know, I have students say, well, I don't need to go to church. I can talk to God anytime, but I think as human beings, we have a strong sense of need for community. I think a community comes out to help those, especially in times of need or distress, to be there for a person.
You know, it's like a big family, really. It feels like a community, a big family, and it's something so obscure and strange that the fact that we can connect through it just brings us together even closer. It's really cool, you know. It really brings a lot of people together, and that's a huge plus of Lorne, is the fact that so many of us have come together and formed a big family. Thanks to him. It's awesome. And I can't even tell you, I've had a lot of people message me and they say, I just want to let you know that your videos have helped me during my time of sorrow, or it's happened so many times. People tell me, I felt so bad about this, but your Lorne videos cheered me up and things like that. And so yeah, you ain't kidding when you say because of Lorne, so many people, so much good has been done. It's awesome. That's something heavenly about our Lord and Savior, Lorne Armstrong.
it was a small cadre of us at the start, relatively. I mean, relative to what it is now, and it just grew so organically that you, at some point, you just stop marveling at the growth and you just accept it. I think we've managed to attract the people who get the joke and who are committed to keeping it going. And I love what's happened with with this shaman guy over here. Apart from all that TCAPism does, and I mean, I'd say like it's had the effect of giving a bunch of people some great jokes and laughs, but more importantly, it's given some creative people a cool outlet for their creativity.
The comments and on Facebook and on the videos, and just the community members themselves, they're hilarious, they're supportive, they're intelligent. Meeting them and then getting to know a few of them personally has been so fun, satisfying. They have places in my life, and I wouldn't have thought that anybody in this community would be, I would be such good friends with somebody having something so weird in common.
Like, people will pop on forums like, oh my God, I just found this forum. I can't believe there's other people like me. I've been watching the show for 10 years. I thought I was the only one. But every other day somebody will pop on and say something like that. And I've made, a lot of good friends off the show. And there's numerous people that I talk to now, in my real life, and talk to about non-TCAP things that I've met, through here. And there's some people I just talk to socially, and some people I become pretty close with and talk to a lot through here. And they all seem, the people that I talk to, are smart people. They're interesting people, and and have lots of interests outside of this too. We may have met through this, but then we find out we have a lot more in common as well. And they have lives too. People are married and have kids and have real jobs, and they're out doing those things. And then we come together when we can and chat about the stuff we have in common.
Let me see. What can I sing to you? Okay, I got one.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Girl.
Look at the two of you dancing that way, lost in the moment, in each other's face. So much in love, you're alone in this place, like there's nobody else in the world. I was enough for her not long ago. I was her number one. She told me so, and she still means the world to me, just so you know. So be careful when you hold my girl. Time changes everything, life must go on. I'm not gonna stand in your way. I loved her so, I held her close, and the place in my heart will always be hers. From the first breath she breathed, when she first smiled at me, I knew the love of the Father on me. And I prayed that she'd find you someday. but it's still hard to give her away. I loved her first.